Hare Krishna. Take this opportunity to welcome all of you for the fifth and final day of the Parikrama. Today we will be visiting Janu Dvip and Modadrumdwip. Janu Dvip represents Bandhanam or prayer, and Modadrumdwip represents Dasyam or servitorship. In Janu Dvip, we will be visiting Nagar, and in Modadrumdwip, we will be visiting the Sripat of Saranga Murari, Vasudev Datta, and Vrindavan Thakur. So please come and join us for the last day of the Parikrama. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So right now we're in Janu Dvip, Janu Muni's ashram. This is where Janu Muni was residing. This is also where Mother Ganges got the name Jannavi. This is where Mother Ganges accepted Janu Muni as his father. Janu Muni's daughter becomes Jannavi. Also, Bhismadev came here because Mother Ganges accepted Janu Muni as his father. Therefore, for Bhismadev, Janu Muni was his grandfather. So this is where Bhismadev came, and he was instructed on the path of devotional service. As a result of that, we could see that the end of his life, when Yudhishthira Maharaj went to Bhismadev on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and he wanted guidance. Whatever Bhismadev learned from Janu Muni, the path of devotional service, Bhismadev explained that to Yudhishthira Maharaj. At the end of his life, Bhismadev actually remembered his visit to Navadvip Dham. This is where Bhismadev eternally resides and worships Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Just recently, some 150 years back, there were so many temples here, and many Sanskrit schools were here. This place was very, very prominent till recently only. Anyway, we will hear the glories of Mother Ganges and Janu Muni from His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. Hari Bol. Ganga Maya ki, Janu Muni ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaura Premanande.
His name also Janu Muni. He had his ashram here and was doing a tapasya. At that time, the Ganges came into his ashram. His kamandalu and water brought, they floated away. he became very impatient. Then he drank the whole Ganges. Bhagirati, the Bhagirat, King Bhagi, he looked, there are no Ganges. He became amazed. Where does he go? And so he meditated. He realized that she was drunken by Janu Muni. So he went to Janu Muni and he requested him to please reproduce the Ganges. Janu Muni said, I'm sorry, I digested her. He said, well, if you can drink the Ganges, you can digest her, then you can somehow reproduce her. You have that mystic power. So then Ganges came from his knee, being manifested, and that's why she's known as Janavi, on the knee of Janu Muni. So she became the daughter of Janu Muni. She's known as Janavi, one of her many names. So, in this place where Janu Muni meditated, he also was visited by Vasudev. So this is a place very important. We're trying to get some land here. And this is a place which, unfortunately, next door, I built a chicken hatchery. And we would like to get some land and build a shrine or build some place to sit for the devotees. So this, right now, there's a tree here, there's some bamboo forest, and we know that this is the place of Janu Muni, his divine grace, Bhakti, Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who's to take his regular party here, but we don't have any permanent land here, no permanent place. How do you go on Modadrumdwip? You see also the temple of Saranga Thakur and his disciple Murari Chaitanya Das, also the deity of Vasudev Datta. Lord Chaitanya has visited Saranga Thakur many times. He told him that he should take a disciple. See, the associates of Lord Chaitanya, they're ordered by Lord Chaitanya to spread the Sankirtan Movement, and meant that he wanted down to the Gaura and to give initiation to some devotees. This way they could expand the Sankirtan Movement. Similarly, Prabhupada, he wanted all his disciples, all his boys and girls, disciples, to read the Prabhupada books and be fully conversant to the Gaura. So, Saranga Thakur, he decided to fulfill Lord Chaitanya's order. The first person he would see the next day, he would initiate. So as was his daily practice, he went down to the Ganges and looked at that. Then it so happened, you see, the custom in India, if someone is killed by a snake bite, and they put them on a raft of banana palm trees or something, and send them down the river. So maybe a yogi would see them and know the mantras, remove the poison and bring them back to life. So this dead body bumped into Saranga. He thought, this is the first person I'm seeing today. I pulled the body over, I chanted a mantra in his ear. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Immediately, a dead body came back to life. He gave the name Murari Chaitanya Das. And then Murari Chaitanya Das, his hands came to claim him. He said, you gave me life once, I died. Now my life belongs to this Saranga Thakur. He is my new birth. So he didn't accept till that. He was a dynamic preacher. Since he'd already died, he was fearless. Sometimes he'd ride on the back of a tiger and go into a village, and then the villagers were amazed, riding on a tiger, unheard of. And then he would convert the whole village to Krishna consciousness. He was a dynamic preacher. Sometimes he'd chant under the Ganges water for days on end. Sometimes he would just take some big cobra snake around him. He was fearless because he'd already died and came back to life. So this Saranga, this place is a sacred place. Saranga Thakur and Murari Chaitanya Das, I see the deities that they worship. If you go, this is the last stop in Modadrumdwip. After this starts Modadrumdwip. There you have the birthplace of Vrindavan Thakur. On the way you can see the ashram of Vasudev Datta, the ancient ruins of his temple there with the Saranga Thakur's deity, and the deities of Vasudev Datta. So now we'll proceed to the Navadvip Thakur birthplace. On the way we can see the ruins of the temple of Vasudev Datta, who prayed to accept all the sins of the world on himself, let him, so that everybody, let them go back to God. Hari Ram. Jaya Radha Madhava.
right now we're standing in front of this beautiful altar. The big deities, Radha, Madan, Gopal, these are the deities of Vasudev, Datta. And then in the middle is Sri Sri Radha Gopinath, Saranga Murari's deities. And then Sivananda saints, Radha Govinda is below that. And Sri Sri Gaur Nitai, Gaur Gadadhar, these are the deities of Puridas Goswami. So these deities are very, very historical. And we're very fortunate to see the deities of Vasudev Datta, Saranga Thakur, Sivananda Sen, and Puri Goswami all together. Sri Sri Radha Gopinath ki, Jai. Radha Madan Gopal ki, Jai. Sri Sri Radha Govind ki, Jai. Gaur Gadadhar ki, Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki, Jai. Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki, Jai. Nitai Gaur Brahmanande. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So right now we are in Modadrumdwip, and one of Mahaprabhu's intimate associate, Saranga Thakur, was living here. He was very, very elderly, and therefore Mahaprabhu respected him like his own father. On the way to Vidyanagar, many times Mahaprabhu would go through this way just to meet Saranga Thakur. Seeing Saranga Murari very elderly, and he was worshipping Radha Gopinath. So one day Mahaprabhu said, "My dear Saranga Thakur, you are getting old. When you leave this world, who will look after the deities? When you get old, who's going to look after you? Why don't you accept disciples?" Saranga Murari said, "My Lord, I have no power to see who's qualified, who's unqualified to be a disciple. How to choose a proper and qualified disciples, I don't have that qualification." So Mahaprabhu said, "Whomever you accept, he will become qualified." In his mind, Saranga Thakur was thinking that at this age, at old age, why is Mahaprabhu asking me to take disciples? Because spiritual master means you see your disciples as your son, as your daughter. He didn't want to get into any implications. But Mahaprabhu was very determined that you have to take a disciple, and whoever you accept, he will become qualified. Not wanting to have this burden to look for qualification in a disciple, not wanting to go through that process and to satisfy the Lord, Saranga Thakur said, "My Lord, since you want me to take a disciple, whomever I see tomorrow morning, I will accept him as my disciple. I don't want to see this, who's qualified, who's not qualified, because I'm not qualified." Saranga Murari, in his heart, he was thinking, hopefully, early in the morning, I don't see anybody. That was the idea. That's why he said, early morning, whoever I see. So that day, as usual, Saranga Murari, very early in the morning, he used to go to Ganga to take bath. Even now, you can actually walk to the Ganga. It's not that far. So he went in the Ganga, he was bathing, and suddenly he sees something touching his body. So he went like this. He just, sometimes you go in the Ganga, something touches you, you just go like that. Came back again. and he was surprised to see on a banana bed, a banana tree bed, one dead body was lying down. Very young, fresh Brahmin thread. And the clothes are fresh as if he just got Upanayana. And Upanayana he get at a very young age. Saranga Murari saw this child's face, very bright, just got Upanayana, and he was shocked. Saranga Murari was shocked. Then he remembered, oh, I told my Lord that whomever I see, I'll give him initiation, and I happen to see a dead body. Since I have told my Lord, better I initiate him, and then we'll see what happens. So right there and then, on the Ganga, he initiated him. He chanted the mantra in his ear. And the moment Saranga Thakur chanted the mantra, the dead body, the dead boy came back to life. Bhairu Besan says, Saranga Murari began to cry because he thought this is definitely not my potency. It is the Lord's desire. He brought him here. And he offered him to Radha Gopinath, Saranga Thakur. In the meantime, Mahaprabhu has heard that Saranga Murari has initiated a disciple. So the Lord came with his associates here, told Saranga Thakur, I heard you have a disciple. I would like to see him. So Saranga Thakur got the disciple and put in Lord's lotus feet. Saranga Thakur began to cry. He says, my Lord, this is all your mercy. Then Mahaprabhu asked this boy, who are you? What's your name and where are you from? The boy began to explain, my Lord, my name is Murari. I just got Upanayana and then I got bitten by a snake. So my parents tried different ways to revive me, but couldn't, so they thought I was dead. So in those days, if someone is bitten by a snake and they cannot revive, they normally put it on the banana tree boat kind of a thing or a bed, throw him on the Ganga, hoping that some tantric or some magician or someone very powerful spiritually can chant some mantra and bring the person back to life. So that was the concept. So my parents rejected me, they threw on the water. So when he told this story, hearing this story, Mahaprabhu said, so now that you're back, now that you're alive, should I make the arrangements for you to go back to your home, to your parents? He said, no, because my parents, for me or for them, I'm dead. So my new spiritual father is Saranga Thakur. He is my spiritual father. For them, I'm a dead person. For me, I was also dead. But he gave me a new life, therefore I belong to him. I do not belong to my parents. In the meantime, the parents also heard. They came and they asked him to come back to their home, and Murari totally rejected. He says, no, he is my Lord, he is my master, I stay with him. So his previous name was Murari. Saranga Thakur gave the name Chaitanya Das. So complete Murari Chaitanya Das. And because he was so dedicated to his guru, many times, Saranga Murari, they are so internally connected, they cannot live without each other. So normally, guru and disciples name together, Saranga Murari. But his spiritual name is Chaitanya Das. In Chaitanya Charitamrita and in Chaitanya Bhagavat, especially Chaitanya Bhagavat, Vrindavan Das Thakur very beautifully explains about the power of Chaitanya Das. He said he would play with the tiger. As you can see, now even it's all forest. So you can imagine during that time. And Saranga and Chaitanya Das, he would sit on a tiger, tell the tiger, take me here, take me there. He would sometimes slap the tiger. Sometimes he would take the python, put it on his lap. Sometimes Chaitanya Das could go under the water for 3 days and not come out. 3 days under the water chanting. So much spiritual power Chaitanya Das had. So this is his bhajan kutir of Murari and his spiritual master Saranga Thakur. So Saranga Thakur and Murari Chaitanya. Mahaprabhu would visit this place many times, and now we will show you something very, very special. So let's go and meet a great personality. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
Hare Krishna. Just like in Jagannath Puri, Srimad Mahaprabhu took the toothbrush of Lord Jagannath and planted that grew into a beautiful tree to give shade to Haridas Thakur, and it became known as Siddha Bakul. So here in the ashram of Saranga Murari, this Bakul tree was there giving shade to Saranga Thakur. Saranga Thakur was chanting every day 1 lakh name. But due to old age, this tree became very hollow and about to die. So the Lord came and asked Saranga Murari, you are chanting under this tree. This tree is giving you so much shade, serving you. But I see this tree has become hollow and is about to leave its body. Very humbly, Saranga Thakur said, my Lord, if it is time for the tree to go back, what can I say? Immediately Lord said, don't worry, this tree has done so much service, he must continue to do service for you. Immediately Srimad Mahaprabhu actually hugged this tree. Even though this tree was about to die, but being hugged by the Lord, immediately it came back to life. Even though inside is hollow, but look up, totally green. And you see the whole campus, practically the whole temple is being shaded by this beautiful tree. So in Navadvip Dham, this is Siddha Bakul. Just like in Jagannath Puri, you have Siddha Bakul giving shade to Haridas Thakur. Here, the Siddha Bakul here, being hugged by the Lord, is giving shade and serving Saranga Murari and all the devotees that come here. Jai Siddha Bakul ki Hari Bol.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More. Toma bina ke dayalu Jagata samsare.
You must have heard the name Vasudev Datta, Mahaprabhu's favorite singer, in whose kirtan Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu and all the devotees would go mad in ecstasy, chanting and dancing, hearing Vasudev Datta's Kirtan. So where we are standing right now, this was the very home of Vasudev Datta. Some remnants are still here, as you can see. See these bricks? Old style bricks. So there was his house, Vrindavan Das Thakur, Saranga Murari, Vasudev Datta, they all lived here. Later on, of course, they moved to a different place. There are one famous pastime. There's quite a few pastimes that happened between Vasudev Datta and Sriman Mahaprabhu. I would just relate one. This was in Jagannath Puri. And one day Vasudev Datta goes to Mahaprabhu and says, "My Lord, you are the most merciful, you are independent Lord. I have a desire, if you can kindly fulfill that." Mahaprabhu was very pleased. He said, "Tell me whatever you want. There is nothing that I have that I will not give you. Tell me what you want." And Vasudev Datta says, "Vasudev bole Prabhu, ei deho bor, sarvajiv choli jauk Vaikuntha Nagar." My Lord, please give me this benediction that let all the living entities go back home, back to Godhead. Whatever sinful activities they may have performed, I am willing to go to hell eternally and suffer for all the living entities, but as a result of that, let everyone go back home, back to Godhead. Mahaprabhu began to cry, simply listening to the prayers of Vasudev Datta. He said, "You don't have to go to hell, just the fact that you have desired everyone to go back home, back to Godhead, I will do that." Mahaprabhu said to the devotees that my body belongs to Vasudev Datta. Datta ama jotha beche tothai bikai. Wherever he sells me, I am sold. I say it for again and again. Anyone who comes in contact with Vasudev Datta, Krishna will personally protect that devotee. Why? Because he has come in contact with Vasudev Datta. Satya ami kohi suna Vaishnav Mandal. My dear Vaishnavas, please listen to me, Mahaprabhu says. E deho amar Vasudevar kebal. I say it again, that my body belongs to Vasudev Datta. So this is how close Vasudev Datta was to Mahaprabhu's heart. So being able to be in the same place, same house where Vasudev Datta lived, Mahaprabhu says anyone who comes in contact with Vasudev Datta, Krishna will personally protect him. So coming in contact with Vasudev Datta's place of residence, even holding the same brick that gave shelter in the form of house to Vasudev Datta, it's in a way of coming in contact with Vasudev Datta. So we are very fortunate, blessed, that we are standing in the same place where Vasudev Datta lived and worshipped Mahaprabhu. So you can touch your forehead with this brick and feel the blessings.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare
Hare Krishna. So we are in Modadrumdwip in Vrindavan Das Thakur's Sripad. In Gaur Ganades Dipika, it is described that Vasudev himself has appeared as Vrindavan Das Thakur. Vrindavan Das Thakur appeared as the son of Narayani Devi and Sri Vaikuntanath. Actually, he was the last disciple of Nityananda Prabhu himself. Nityananda Prabhu accepted him as his own disciple and instructed him to write about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. Being instructed by the Supreme Lord, Lord Nityananda Prabhu, Vrindavan Das Thakur wrote Chaitanya Bhagavat. Of course, when Vrindavan Das Thakur wrote, the book was entitled Chaitanya Mangal. Later on, the devotees have changed the name because it's known different from Vasudev, who wrote Bhagavatam. So as Vasudev, he wrote Bhagavat, and as Vrindavan Das Thakur, he wrote Chaitanya Bhagavat. Vrindavan Das Thakur himself explains that whatever he has written in his book, either he has heard directly from Nityananda Prabhu, or he has taken from the book written by Murari Gupta Prabhu. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami glorifies the writings of Vrindavan Das Thakur, that anyone who hears the glories of Mahaprabhu and his associates written by Vrindavan Das Thakur, their heart will change. No doubt they'll become devotees, and no doubt they'll be delivered from this material world. So we are very, very fortunate that we are here in the Sripad of Vrindavan Das Thakur. Hare Krishna. So thus end our virtual Navadvip Mandal Parikrama here in the Sripad of Vrindavan Das Thakur. What a wonderful way to end our parikrama. We are very, very grateful to all of you for attending this virtual parikrama, and we look forward to your participation of next year's Kartik Parikrama. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Gaura Hari. Hare Krishna.
कार्तिक नवद्वीप मंडल परिक्रमा 2020 की हरि
कमला कुछ मंगला है धृत कुंडला धृत कुंडला कलिला ललित वनमाला जय जय देव हरे Mani mandala mandana hai Baba kandana hai Baba kandana mani jamana sahamsa Jaya jaya deva hare Kaliya visadana ganjana hai Janaranjana hai
Hare Krishna. We take this opportunity to thank all of you for participating in the Kartik Navadwip Mandal Parikrama. Mayapur Chandra's team started this parikrama by the inspiration of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. The whole idea about this parikrama is simply to assist you in your parikrama. So we really hope that you were pleased with our service. We're begging all of your mercy that we may be able to continue this service for a long, long time. And we hope that in the coming year, in 2021, you will be inspired to physically come to Mayapur and take part in the Kartik Navadwip Mandal Parikrama in the month of Kartik in 2021. Looking forward to seeing and serving all of you in Sri Mayapur Navadvip Dham. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Gauranga.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, on behalf of Mayapur Chandra Mandir, we would like to congratulate all of you at completing this Urja Vrata Parikrama in Sridham Mayapur. This Urja Vrata is a very special Vrata. It is very dear to Srimati Radharani and Lord Vishnu. As you know, the month of Kartik is the month of Lord Vishnu. We should make a special effort to dedicate all our activities for his pleasure. And Urja Devi is Srimati Radharani. She is the pleasure potency of the Lord. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur recommends that we perform this Navadvip Mandal Parikrama during the month of Kartik. It is very, very auspicious. We get lots of mercy during this month. So we would like to congratulate and also thank you for your participation and continuous support to Sridham Mayapur, ISKCON Mayapur. And we would also like to invite you to come and visit Mayapur personally. We hope that by Gaura Purnima, the pandemic restrictions will be over and you could come personally here so that we could offer you some prasad and some service and get some of your personal association. And of course, next year, Kartik month, this parikrama is going to go on, so we are awaiting for you very eagerly so that together we can go and visit different places of pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and roll in the dust of the Dham. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. To make this virtual Kartik Navadwip Mandal Parikrama available to all of you, it took a lot of effort. If you are inspired to contribute for this Kartik Navadwip Mandal Parikrama, kindly do so. The details are in the description. Thank you.